Tuloy-tuloy ang basketball action dito sa RPTV. Handog naman namin sa inyo ang main game offering of your Friday doubleheader mula dito sa Ninoy Aquino Stadium. The PBA is back in full force at itong Blackwater. Ang ganda ng simula in this tournament, trying to make it back-to-back wins to open the Governor's Cup. Ang Magnolia naman gustong makabawi mula sa maagang pagkadapa after losing their game against Phoenix. Fortunes collide this evening inside the Ninoy Aquino Stadium, and we're happy that you're joining us. And thank you for tuning in to RPTV. John Sulit here together with the Dean Quinito Henson. The Dean, magkaibang simula ng Blackwater and Magnolia, and I guess it's contrast to anong iisipin ng mga tao, yung Blackwater yung nanalo in their first game.
Exactly. At yung Magnolia, talo naman sila. But nasabi mo na gustong bumawi ng Magnolia because natalo sila ng Phoenix in their first game. But more than that, gusto rin nilang bawiin yung pagkatalo nila sa Blackwater in the previous conference, 97-91. Tinalo po ng Blackwater and Magnolia. That was just the third victory of Blackwater in the entire season.
Well, tingnan muna natin itong team standings. If it's your first time watching the PBA Governor's Cup in its 50th season, magugulat kayo, dalawa yung groups.
Exactly. Yung Group A, meron tayong 7 teams. Tapos yung kabila naman, 6 ang team nila. Makita natin ang NLEX racing off to a 3-0 start. At ang Converge naman, they won today. So that's 2-0. And then, was that the third win of Converge? We gotta check that if the standings have not been updated. Yes, they are 3-0 sa kanilang kartada. And in Group B, we saw the lineup of teams. Blackwater is in that group along with Magnolia.
So for the knowledge of everyone, top 4 lang po kasi ang papasok per group, kaya importante. Makaarangkada agad, yun ang ginawa ng Blackwater in their 23-point win over Rain or Shine.
131 points. That's the most that Blackwater has scored in any game this season, including Philippine Cup, including Commissioner's Cup. But yung 131 points, that's a high watermark para kay Coach Pat Aquino. Alam po natin si Coach Pat came on board Blackwater tupo sa kalagitnaan ng Commissioner's Cup. They were 1-4, and Pat Aquino picked up the first victory of his Blackwater head coaching career against San Miguel. And in this conference, nadali nila yung Rain or Shine. You saw the figures right there.
And napaka-importante din yan kasi nakabawi rin din ang Blackwater from an embarrassing loss to Rain or Shine in the previous conference. Now, the big reason kung bakit sila nanalo over the last two painters, ang ganda ng pinakita ng kanilang import na pinapakilala this conference, and that's Cantrell Barkley. I mean, this guy finished with a triple-double in his very first game here in the PBA.
Very impressive. Not only that, he allowed his teammates to get involved in a major way. Sa opensa nila, no? A triple-double, as you mentioned, 10 assists, 29 points. He was 5 out of 7 for 3-point distance. This guy also is a terrific rebounder. In fact, in the Indonesian League where he just came from, he was the #1 rebounder in that circuit. Pero yung mga narito, willing passer ito, 10 assists, and that's also a big reason kung bakit in that game, there were 6 Blackwater players in double-figure points.
That's a big thing for Blackwater, kaya nga umabot ng 131 yung output nila. Ang ganda kasi ng simula ng bossing doon sa larong yun, which is something we can also say about Magnolia. Maganda rin naman yung start nila against Phoenix, but it was just that they weren't able to sustain it until the final buzzer.
Totoo yan, because Magnolia led in that game by 15, but yet, natalo sila by 12. You take a look at some of the outstanding stats in that contest. In the field goal percentage, 57%. Ang ginawa ng Phoenix, 3 points. You see that on your screens. And the second half points. I mean, 49 points given up by Magnolia in the last 2 quarters, while the Hotshots scored only 33. It's something they need to work on, especially when it comes to perimeter points, because that is where they gave up 27 more points to Phoenix.
And they might also need to extract a little bit more mula sa kanilang import in KJ Buffett. I mean, when you're the reinforcement, you kind of expect to get more than 15 and 12. We'll talk more about his production and his performance later on as we send it over to our Coliseum announcer.
May we request everyone to please rise for a moment of silence as we pay tribute to one of the league's original pioneers. Your Philippine Basketball Association mourns the passing yesterday at the age of 79, the original magician, albeit on the basketball court. He was an 8-time PBA champion and a key member of Crispa's historic first Grand Slam team in 1976. He played 6 seasons in the PBA and proudly represented the Philippines many times as a member of the national basketball team. Today, we remember not only his achievements on the court, but also the camaraderie, sportsmanship, and friendship he shared throughout his basketball journey. To Mr. Rodolfo Rudy Soriano, thank you for the memories and for your lasting contributions to Philippine basketball. May your soul rest in eternal peace. As a PBA tradition, we offer a minute of silence. Maraming salamat po. And good evening, PBA fans. This is the golden season of the PBA. Welcome to the Governor's Cup. And our second game is the Blackwater Bossing versus the Magnolia Chicken Timplados Hotshots. Let's meet the starting lineups first. From the Blackwater Bossing, at guard from Tondo, Manila, number 0, RK Ilagan. From Batangas, also at guard, number 2, Sedrick, Barefield. At center from Siniloan, Laguna, number 1, Abu Trotter. From Santa Rosa, Laguna, at forward, number 17, CJ Austria. And also at forward, number 24, Cantrell Barkley. Head coach for Blackwater is Patrick Aquino. And now introducing the starters for the Magnolia Chicken Timplados Hotshots. At guard, the 2026 PBA All-Star Rookie and Sophomore MVP, wearing jersey number 30, Jerome Lastimosa. At guard, 2-time Finals MVP and member of the San Coffee Grand Slam team, playing his 646th consecutive games, the Coffee Prince, number 14, Mark Barroca. At center, providing a strong inside presence with his size, strength, and physical play, wearing jersey number 23, Clifford Hopia. At forward, bringing his versatility and his strength, wearing jersey number 1, KJ Buffett. And also at forward, a member of the 2026 PBA All-Star North Champion team, wearing jersey number 22, the Zavier Lucero. Head coach for Magnolia is L.A. Tenorio. Game officials are Bing Oliva, Marty Montoya, Kenny Halig, and Sherwin Salon. This game is under
These
the
are your
supervision and
officials for this
regulation
game, Bing Oliva, Marty Montoya, Kenny Halig, and Sherwin Salon. Mga starters naman para sa Blackwater and Magnolia, it's gonna be Ilagan and Barroca up front. The matchup, the rookie, and Jerome Lastimosa. Also there sa backcourt, the Magnolia, together with Lucero, Buffin, and Hopia. Immediate turnover para sa Blackwater.
Well, just Blackwater, walang pagbabago sa kanilang starting lineup from the previous game. But on Magnolia, some big changes here. Si Ian Sangalang nag-start last game. He's not starting in this game. Javi Gomez de Leano also started last game. He's not starting in their place. Cliff Hopia, who came from Blackwater, is starting here for Magnolia. And also, Mark Barroca is starting. He came off the bench in the previous game of Magnolia against Phoenix, kung saan sila natalo. And I think these changes all grew well for Magnolia because Coach L.A. Tenorio is looking for the right combination. He's looking for adjustments in their lineup. Also, he's looking for Mark Barroca to provide the kind of leadership that they require to go to play beside Jerome Lastimosa in the backcourt.
This Magnolia team right now is currently undergoing a transition din. You know, not only did they recently introduce a new head coach in L.A. Tenorio, but there also have been several changes in terms of their personnel sa mga players. Now, that ball was deflected. It will stay with Blackwater, but they will only have 8 seconds to work with. At sa likod pa sila mag-inbound. Barkley has it. Rushing to the front court, only has 3 seconds to shoot. Barkley, oh, that extra pass. Ilagan got it off on before the buzzer, but It does not go in.
Well, you were saying about the changes in the lineup before this conference. Yung Magnolia, Hopia, the only real new player on the roster, but sa Blackwater, maraming nawala. No? Si Samar nawala, si Ginto, si Andrade. Hopia, of course, went over to Magnolia, but they brought in Nick Demuses, at saka si James Sena. Sena is a balik Blackwater player.
Well, right now, as we have a quick lull in the game, puntahan na natin din ang Dean's List netong Magnolia.
Well, for Magnolia, una-una, they need to either post up or go for the slash. They need to be able to score points in the paint because that's where they were plus 23 against Phoenix. Pangalawa, they need to make those hard shows, particularly in the perimeter, because in the perimeter was when they were scored by Phoenix by 27 points. Ito na si Hopia, nakascore sa loob. Kasasabi lang natin how important it is for them to score points inside the paint. And of course, a very, very critical factor here in the Dean's List for Magnolia, make Barkley a scorer, not a passer. And I'm saying this because, you know, when he's a passer, he gets the other players involved in the offense, like Barefield, like Ilagan, like Panopio. Those guys scored at least 19 points in the previous game. So make him a scorer and gamble on him taking a lot of shots, but just don't make him a passer.
That's an interesting point. Kadalasan, you don't want the import to be the scorer, but in this case, ayaw mo umabot kasi sa 130 yung may score na itong Blackwater.
Exactly. Ayun, offensive rebound galing kay Barkley, but I think it was his last touch. Walang tawag doon, walang contact, or no contact call.
Alam mo din, yung first game natin kanina was such a high-scoring affair. That final score, imagine, 149 points ang na-score ng Converge, hindi pa yung nag-overtime. 124 naman na Macau, but in the first 2 minutes of this game, points have been scarce. Buffett, ipapasok yung kanyang atake, and it's Stratter grabbing the board.
Well, nasabi natin, no? Yung 131 points na na-score ng Blackwater last time out. So this is also a very high-scoring team. Let's see whether they can come even close to scoring that many points against Magnolia.
Well, in that game against Rain or Shine, yung first, second, and third quarters, 36 points each ang na-score ng
Yes.
Blackwater. So, hindi pa nagsisimula yung fourth quarter, 108 na sila. Imagine that. And while we're on the topic of the bossing, puntahan na rin natin yung Dean's List nila.
Well, for Blackwater, ito naman ang ating Dean's List sa kanila. I think they need to trap the pick and roll. Magnolia is a terrific pick and roll team because they have Baroka, they have Jerome, Lastimosa, and Paul Lee. They're excellent passers to the rollers, and that's what Blackwater needs to stop, yung kanilang pick and roll. They need to also run the floor. Against Rain or Shine, they scored 24 fast break points. And notice that Magnolia was last place in fast break points in the previous conference. I think the third point for Blackwater is don't waste their possessions. In the Commissioner's Cup, they were last place or number 1 in terms of most turnovers at close to 16 turnovers a game. That's something that Blackwater must stop or get themselves a cap.
Well, kung mag-continue yung trend ng first 3 minutes of this game, Dean, magiging X yung last point mo because they already have 4 turnovers in less than 3 minutes of action. And now they foul Lastimosa, and Jerome will head to the line for a pair. At this point, makibalita tayo kay Miss Bel Gregorio.
Domino effect ang nakita nila Coach LA sa kanilang talo kontra Phoenix. Ayon kay Assistant Coach Juno Sauler, because of how Phoenix defended, nag-one-on-one ang Magnolia, they were careless with the ball. Hindi na sila makahabol kapag tatakbo ang Phoenix, and their defense would not be set against Phoenix attacking the rim. Hindi na pwedeng dahilan na foul trouble ang kanilang import dahil meron na naman daw silang tune-up game without him, kaya dapat daw sanay ang locals to stand on their own. Pero syempre, pinaalala nila kay Buffin that they need him to play minimum 30 minutes. He can't be caught swiping or hacking the way he was against Phoenix. Jut and Dean.
Thank you so much, Bel. Well, that really was one of the factors kung bakit nahirapan maging productive ito si KJ in their first game. Foul trouble very early on. So he's gonna want to limit that. Ilagan missing his jumper. Wala pa rin puntos sa Blackwater. Baroka. You know, Mark spent most of the Commissioner's Cup coming off the bench. So now he's found a role in the in the starting unit again. And mukhang naghahanap pa rin talaga ng formula like you said earlier. Ito si Coach L.A. Tenorio para sa Hotshots.
Kailangan nila ng stabilizer, and he didn't start the last time out. But so far, good defense ang pinapakita dito ng Blackwater, especially in the shaded area. And forcing another miss there by Magnolia. Magnolia is attacking the inside. And I'm wondering, this is a team that has a lot of big-time outside shooters, but 30% of their shots are only coming from 3 and 4. Bakit kaya? Well, their concentration is the inside. And in the last Commissioner's Cup, ito, again, a miss from inside the shaded area. They're going inside. And I feel Magnolia should also alter its point of attack. They've got excellent outside shooters. They should go with those shooters.
And the first points of Blackwater in this game come from RK Ilagan, who was actually named the first player of the week dito sa ating Season 50 Governor's Cup. Look at that. Parang initya na lang, pumasok pa.
RK Ilagan, 22 points in that first game. Na ipanalo ng Blackwater. But just going back to that point about yung three-point shooting ng Magnolia, last conference they were number 1 in three-point shooting but only number 7 in perimeter points. Meaning to say, when they take the shots from deep, okay, but they're not taking enough. Kanya, number 7 sila sa perimeter points because they're going inside a lot more. And it's the same thing with sa kanilang pagkatalo sa Phoenix. They shot only 30% or make that 29.1% of their shots coming from deep. They were concentrating on points in the paint.
When you take a look at some of the players na they added fairly recently, we're talking about the Chris Coons, the Javi Gomez Del Llanos, mga shooter din yung mga yan.
Exactly. Hindi lang yun. Si Baroka is shooting 43% from 3. And si Rome De La Rosa is shooting 43.3% from 3. Exactly the same number. And even a guy like Ian Sangalang, you know that he was 3 out of 3 from three-point distance in the last conference. So why not go to those shooters?
Well, in this game, they've still been going near the basket. Ito nga si Lucero, naka-offensive rebound. Titira sa labas. Yan yung sinasabi mo.
Yes, I think they should explore that option. While of course it's always good to go to the high percentage inside points. If you've got shooters like Buffin, why not? Go to the outside.
That was actually their first attempt from three-point range at pumasok din naman agad. At baka magandang senyales yun para sa import nila na 15 points nga lang in their previous game in that loss against Phoenix.
And there's going to be a turnover.
And Lucero's asking for a foul. Sabi na tapik daw ni Austria yung kamay niya kaya nagkaganon yung pasa. Pero no whistle. Kaya yung whistle was for out of bounds. That's why we're going Blackwater's way. Pero may timeout muna dito. There's still 6:41 left in the first quarter. A low-scoring start to this ball game. Pero lamang ang Magnolia, 6-5.
I want to have a good
Hey, they're doubling right away on the post on KJ. So be ready on that. Build right away.
Set, big, maybe there. Here? Huh? I don't want set.
That was a coach's dream, finding a success while also watching your players have fun. Ganito yung nilarawan ni Coach Pat Aquino ang kanilang panalo kontra Rain or Shine. They had a chip on their shoulder, kaya talagang sinubukan nilang patunayan that Blackwater now plays a different way. Tatlong bagay ang umangat sa kanya. Their assists proving that their chemistry is present, having a spark to start na nakita nila kay Barkley sa first quarter at kay RK sa second half, and the sense of pride that he now sees in his players. At itong pride ang gusto niyang makita muli as he warned his players that Magnolia's veteran experience will be dangerous throughout this game. Gentlemen.
And I think that's the real test din, di ba, para dito sa Blackwater. Yes, you already toppled a contender in Rain or Shine, Pero gusto mong patunayan na hindi lang yung swerte. It's not a fluke. And RK is out to do just that as he extends his Blackwater lead to the 3.
Bad news, it was Barkley who made that pass. Kanya yung sinasabi natin, don't make him a passer. Well, he just jinxed that. He gave a perfect assist pass para kay RK Ilagan. And talking about assists, yung sinabi nga ni Bel Gregorio, you know, Blackwater was number 12 in assists in the last conference.
Oh, that was a nice move mula kay Buffett.
Number 12 in assists in the last conference at 17.6 assists a game. But in the last game, they had 24 assists. So that's a major upgrade.
Ilagan missing this time. Pero kitang-kita talaga dino yung willingness neto ni Barkley to make that extra pass.
You know, one thing also about Barkley is to see the inside 2 points coming from Ian Sangalang. And we were saying in our Dean's List, post up and slash. Yan ang laro ng Magnolia. They need to be able to get their points from there. And if that's not available, go to the outside.
O back-to-back hits para sa Magnolia. And they're back ahead by 2 points. Barkley working against Lucero. Makakalusot dun sa una pero nando naghihintay si Sangalang.
They took away his passing lane. They made him go 1-on-1 and they got the stop.
Ilagan almost got the steal pero nakarecover si Ian for the deuce. And then a steal for Lucero.
Not a good sign here for Blackwater. Nagkakalat sila in terms of their defense.
5 turnovers already din para sa Bossing.
And Austria going up against Buffett.
In their last game, KJ Buffett was only 6 for 16 from the field. That's not the kind of shooting clip you want to see mula sa import. Pero kitang-kita mo naman gusto niya rin bumawi. Ilagan missing. Barkley, he talked about his rebounding ability.
And he's a tremendous rebounder. He gives Blackwater a second chance opportunity. They need to put up the shot.
Una, Barkley still could not get it. James Una with the board.
Needs to clear out. That's exactly what he did.
Here's Austria.
1-on-1 but against a much bigger player. Let's see what he can do. Nakawala siya.
CJ
And he scores!
with a beautiful finish.
Nakita niya, yung kalaban niya, mas matangkad sa kanya. That's Ian Sangalang. Inikutan niya. He used his quickness to blow by Sangalang. He's not going to take a jump shot against Sangalang because Sangalang is much bigger.
And this is our play of the half brought to you by Sports Plus. Austria looking like a different CJ with that finish. Parang CJ Perez yung finish na yun din. Inside the Nino Aquino Stadium, where the Magnolia Timplados Hotshots are up by 2, but RK Ilagan trying to do everything para maiangat itong Blackwater. Din, he had a masterful performance, really announcing his return dun sa panalo nila against Rain or Shine. Enough for him to be named Player of the Week.
Excellent performance by RK Ilagan. Hindi lang in terms of points, but also his ability to get his players moving. Yung pace, yun yung nakita natin na malaking pagbabago sa Blackwater. They're able to run the floor. They're able to get points in transition. And a lot of that has to do with your quarterback on the floor. Yan po si RK Ilagan. And this fellow has certainly earned his spot in the PBA. A mid-conference acquisition last time out.
Sama natin si Miss Bell dito sa kwentuhan.
Talking about RK, nakalimang laro lang siya last conference. Na-injure ang kanyang meniscus, minadali niya ang kanyang pagbabalik, which backfired as he ended up injuring his hamstring. Last game was actually the first game RK played under Coach Pat. At kita naman sa kanyang mga numero na sobrang sabik ni RK na makabalik muli. With Coach Pat being guard-oriented, he expects a lot from RK as a leader. So last game got our RK coach Pat's stamp of approval dahil sa kanyang plus 31 performance. Jot and Dean.
Thank you so much, Bel. Dean RK, isa siya dun sa mga player na oh, what a play! By Magnolia, ang ganda naman nung drinowing doon ni Coach LA.
The new defender now on Buffin, si Nick the Muses, is on the floor, relieving CJ Austria. So a bigger defender against Buffin.
That will stay with Blackwater. Natapikan si Sedrick Barefield.
Well, with 3:42 to go in this quarter, both benches have now emptied. They're going to a lot of their relievers, second unit players.
This is Dalf Panopio coming off a 19-point performance in their win against Rain or Shine. Immediate contribution din.
And he certainly found his shooting touch. Nice to see Dalf Panopio playing here for Blackwater. He did not play when Blackwater beat Magnolia in the last conference.
Here's Lucero attacking. Well defended by Una and Barkley.
Two defenders there to stop Lucero from driving down the baseline. That's one of the toughest things to do in basketball when you drive the baseline, because if you're attacking from the corners or even in the quarter court, it gives a lot of room for the help defenders to close in.
And here now is Blackwater. Susubukang kunin ulit yung lamang. Panopio labas kay Barkley. He hasn't scored. He's missed all 4 of his shots dito sa first quarter. Barkley, Barefield naman niya yun. Bibitaw ng 3. That doesn't go. Look at Lucero grab that board.
And that's behind Una.
Alfaro pumasok na rin para sa Magnolia.
Notice nobody's posting up here for Magnolia. That gives a clear path for Javi Gomez de Leaño to attack inside. That's what usually happens when you spread the floor. The defense is stretched out, leaving a wide open space in the middle for your slashers to cut.
At si Javi, he's so scary with his catch and shoot ability. Pero kaya niyang basahin yung defense at that time, taking a few more dribbles. Now that is gonna be a blocking foul.
Ito matetesting yung free throw shooting ability ni Barkley, who's been struggling on offense, as you were saying, Judd. He's missed all of his attempts so far from the field.
Well, as they say, sometimes player can get his rhythm from the free throw line. Tingnan natin kung yan ang mangyari kay Kentrell Barkley.
Well, in Indonesia, where he last played, he shot 73.3% from the stripe. Known to be an excellent rebounder, shot blocker, also a good three-point shooter.
May dadagdag dyan din si Bell.
Dati nang nagtatapat sina Barkley at si KJ Buffin ng Magnolia facing off in Indonesia. Para kay Buffin, he wants to keep Barkley away from the left at amenado siyang hindi na pwedeng sundot ng sundot, admitting he was trying to do so much last game. Si Barkley naman ang priority sa depensa, slowing KJ down. After Barkley's triple-double performance, he pointed out that he wants to be aggressive sa kanyang scoring. Pero ito na nga yung sinasabi mo, Dino, he also wants to create opportunities for his teammates when he sees that they have better shots. Gentlemen.
Thank you, Bell. Sometimes din yung mga imports, no, they find comfort in finding someone na nakakampi o nakalaban na nila dati. But speaking of comfort, well, Dalf Panopio is looking comfortable on the court. 5 quick points.
When you were talking about the familiarity between Buffin at saka si Barkley, yes, they did play in the Indonesian League just this season. Now, we also noticed the excellent help defense in Blackwater. That time, or the previous play ng Magnolia, hindi nakascore doon si Buffin because of that. Oh, but that time, nice getaway by Sangalang. He's got 6 points in the game.
At hindi pa nagmimintis yan si Ian, 3 of 3. Barkley still looking for his first points. Well, actually, first field goal.
Ron De La Rosa, an import stopper on the side of Magnolia. You know, that seems to be a role now that's being developed by every team. Yung mga local import stoppers. Like for Blackwater, CJ Austria, Nick the Muses, those guys are their local import stoppers.
The thing about Rome playing that role, Dean, college pa lang, San Beda pa lang, foreigner stopper na yan. Panapat na nila yan sa mga FSA noon. So that is a role na komportable itong si De La Rosa. But you know what? We just showed on the screen, si The Muses. That's also someone na pwedeng maging ganyan para sa Blackwater.
Exactly. Well, kanina, we were seeing that he was defending Buffen, but now Buffen is sitting down, so now he's taking on Yuki and Andrada.
Both teams going all Filipino for the final minute of the first. Turnover count, you saw it on your screens. Andrada, nagpakawala agad, no good. Happy with the board.
Alfaro directing operations. He gets the ball back. Let's see what he does with it.
It was a push.
Baksak ton si Alfaro.
Mukhang tumama yung ulo niya.
Now, neither team in the penalty. That's just a third team foul ng Blackwater. 30.1 seconds ago in this quarter. It's been tight. It's also been low scoring. Neither team has scored 20 or more.
Let's see what happened. He might have stepped on or tripped over the foot of David, although inadvertent naman.
Right. There was no push, but there was an inadvertent or accidental trip on Alfaro. A second-generation PBA player. His father, of course, Pedro, played in the PBA. Alfaro from San Beda.
You know, Dean, if this game and the scoring of this game goes at the pace it's gone here in the first quarter, this might be the lowest scoring game so far of the Governor's Cup. Kasi ang tataas na mga scoring natin eh. 4 na beses na may team na went above 130 points. Imagine that, and it's still very, very early in the conference.
Went for Blackwater. We did mention they scored 131 points last time out. But Magnolia is a tough defensive team. They were number 2 in defense in the previous conference. And they certainly want to maintain that reputation as a defensive team. Last time out, although they lost, Phoenix did not score 100 points.
Ito si The Muses underneath, nagawa na paraan. Good to see Nick back in the PBA.
Oh, without a doubt. Nice to see him play. Went over to the NPBL after the PBA. And here's a 4-pointer na hindi pumasok.
And so the first quarter ends. Nalamang ang Magnolia only by 1 point. KJ Buffett starting to get his rhythm. Had 7 points dito sa first. And he leads Magnolia to this 1-point lead.
Rain or shine, we want to imitate what they're doing also. I hope that we could continue playing together.
You know what was impressive dun sa panalo ng Blackwater over Rain or Shine, Dean? Yes, ang galing that they won by 23 points. Nabawi nila, imagine natalo sila by 56 points to Rain or Shine last conference. But they also actually limited Rain or Shine. Yung depensa ng Blackwater was also good in that game.
Well, excellent game all throughout in that contest for Blackwater. But more than their defense, it was their offense. I mean, anytime you score 131 points against the other team, they had 24 assists, but they also gave up 23 assists. So they need to work on that defense. But Magnolia, they want to keep this low scoring. Yan ang type of game nila. And for Coach Patakino, that win over Rain or Shine was just his second career win for Blackwater.
Panopio again. And Alfaro was drenched all over him. Hindi inindan ito ni Dalf.
Dalt already with 8 points. He's got 2 3-pointers scored in this contest.
Kasi si Panopia is one of those veteran rookies.
Oo.
Bago pa pumasok. Yes, it's his first year in the PBA. Pero subok na bago pa pumasok dito.
Here we go, 1-on-1. There's the help by Una, and they force the turnover. Again, that excellent help defense on the inside by Blackwater. It's forcing Magnolia to make those errors and take bad shots. I think Blackwater has scouted Magnolia very well, anticipating nila that Magnolia is going to go inside and get those points in the paint.
Well, we go back to what you brought up earlier, Dean, yung 3-point shooting ng Magnolia. They've only taken 2 shots from deep in this game.
Yeah, they're only taking about 30% of their shots from deep, when maybe they should be taking more because of their loaded lineup with 3-point gunners.
That was last touch on Sanggalang.
Substitution for Blackwater. Sedrick Barefield for Jack.
14 seconds back on the clock para sa bossing. Ito yung tres kanina ni Panopio.
Barefield hindi pa nakaka-score dito.
Oh, Dalf is really feeling it.
Oh boy, this guy's got 10 points very early in this contest. I don't think he's missed.
We'll double check that. No, he hasn't. He's 4 of 4.
4 out of 4, including 2 threes. Ralph Panopio, this guy was born in Italy, has worked his way to the PBA, and that's another miscue on the part of Magnolia. Ang hindi natin nakikita dito, yung anticipated natin na pick and roll. We're not seeing the pick and rolls being run here by Magnolia. And, you know, I think Paul Lee needs to be in the game because he provides that excellent pass off the pick and roll. I think Mark Baroka also does a good job in that department, and Jerome Lastimosa. Those 3 players are not on the floor right now. Wala si Baroka, wala si Lee, wala si Lastimosa.
Well, we'll see kung paano ang magiging adjustment ng Magnolia. Remember, they also had an early lead against Phoenix.
Yeah,
The Muses.
Oh, that's a wild shot coming from the Muses. He was hoping to get a call on the contact, but no call.
And so we go back to Magnolia. Buffett back in the game as well. Si Barkley rin, pumasok na ulit. The Muses, as expected, he's assigned to Buffett. KJ takes the shot, misses. Una with the board. Bagsak si The Muses.
There's going to be a foul on the drive by Barefield. The Muses is still down.
And I think he might have been given a verbal warning.
Well, the Muses is a rugged physical player, especially when it comes to defense.
Yeah, and he's one of those guys na hindi magdadalawang isip na to try and get under the skin of an opponent.
Ay, totoo yan. You can ask Ismael Romero, as far as that's concerned. We all know that
I'm too scared to ask him.
he would have been an import for
Yeah.
Meralco in the previous conference. But he had that kicking incident with the Muses in a Dubai tournament
Yeah.
that got him eliminated from consideration in the PBA.
And well, there's absolutely no place for stuff like that inside the basketball court.
2 out of 2 here for Barefield. His first points in the ball game. Babalik si CJ Ostra, who did well in his stint in the first quarter. 5 points, playing defense against Buffett.
You know, this has been a very good game. We've only played a little over 1 quarter, pero ang ganda ng laban. Nagpapalitan ng mga mini runs. Maganda defense on both ends.
And I think also their defense has been outstanding. Ang Blackwater shooting only 35%. Magnolia 40%.
Motion offense para sa Magnolia. Buffett sa bandang kanan using his left hand. Doesn't get it.
Got
Pero
it back.
nakuha niya offensive rebound. Has to set his teammates up. De La Rosa. Gustong atakihin si Austria. An offensive foul. Called on Rome. That's Ilagan sacrificing his body to draw the charge.
And we were talking about the interior defense, and napakaganda pinapakita ng Blackwater. And they're making Magnolia miss from the inside. Ito yung atake ni Rome De La Rosa. What about that stand-up defense ni Ilagan?
And then, you know, we're talking about a guy na went through a knee injury that sidelined him for months. Nakabalik only for 5 games dahil nagkaroon ng ibang concern with his leg. And he's returning again after months of absence. Pero agad-agad willing to sacrifice his body para sa kanyang kupunan.
Well, this guy's a gamer. And take a look at that shot. Hindi lang pumasok yung tira. Would have been a perfect ending to our
RK
discussion about RK. Dapat pinasok mo yung bola sa loob. Okay, here we go with Andrada. Now Paul Lee is in the game. Let's see what he does. Oh, that's an attack. Again, a missed inside 2 points.
Barkley,
And
finally. That's his first field goal. It took him 13 and a half minutes. Kanina naka-free throw, but finally, piercing the net. Half of that play, credit to Abu Tratter, naka-rebound and binato agad para sa kanyang import. Blackwater's lead is now 8 points.
Ganda ng interior defense, ano?
I would say just being aggressive, trusting Coach Pat's game plan. I feel like if I'm aggressive on the court, I give my team the best chances of winning the game. I got a little tired in the second quarter, but I found other ways to impact the game without scoring. So I feel like that was a part of the reason we won the game.
Sanay na sanay tayo din ang sukat ng magaling na import is kayang score 30, 40, di ba? And well, now the game is different. At iba na rin yung talent ng mga locals natin. And that's why here, Barkley, although he only has 3 points, he's done a lot of other things para sa Blackwater.
Depende rin kung sino ang kasama mo sa loob ng court. And Barkley realizes that this Blackwater team is loaded with talent. Well, same thing with Magnolia. But I think a lot of it also has to do with scouting. Now for Magnolia, they need to get the perimeter scoring going. There's the pick and roll na sinasabi natin. And the extra pass, hindi lang pumasok yung outside shot. You need those outside shots because that opens up the lane for your inside scorers. And right now, hirap na hirap maka-score sa loob ang Magnolia. In fact, they haven't even scored in the entire second half, or rather second quarter so far.
And that's back-to-back hits para kay Kentrell Barkley. This is now an 11-0 run.
To start the second quarter, that's right. Di pa nakaka-score ang Magnolia. Now they're running pick and roll. But nandidepensa din yung pick and roll dito. Uh-oh.
Good.
Astimosa with a great job keeping that ball alive. Here's the outside shot that
Hindi
we've
pa
been
rin.
looking for.
Well, now Magnolia is starting to take those threes, those outside shots.
And I'm also seeing some attempts to run the pick and roll.
Ito, hanap ng katulong si Paul. It's gonna be Lucero.
There is the pick and roll na sinasabi natin. And then score! That's exactly what we were saying. Yung pick and roll na Magnolia. We were looking for Paul Lee because he's an excellent passer on that pick and roll.
Barefield now making his move. Could not get the jumper, but Tratter has been busy on the glass. Abu.
Almost a travel. Yes, it was a travel. He lost his footing.
And they were looking for a foul. Pero tama rin yung paalala ng bench ng Blackwater. They just said next play. Look at this connection again between Lee and Lucero.
Yeah, that pick and roll. We were talking about that. Yan ang kailangan ng Magnolia. They're known for that because they have excellent rollers. You have a Lucero, who's a perfect roller. And then as well as Buffin.
And at the same time, you have to respect yung shooting ability ni Lee. Lastimosa. Jerome, iwan kay Lucero for the jam!
Blackwater's defense couldn't do anything about that. a penetration, a deep penetration, and then the easy dish to a wide open Lucero.
Barkley wants to silence Magnolia's attack. Ilagan, mahirap na tira, walang problema.
That's 8 points now for Ilagan. And, you know, this is a duel now between Jerome at saka si RK Ilagan. Two excellent point guards, two very offense-oriented point guards as well.
And the guards of Blackwater, Dean, like they did against Rain or Shine, they've come to life early in this game. Panopia has 10 points. Ilagan right there with 8. But look at this setup from Lastimosa.
And they're relieving the pressure now from Barkley. We're talking about Blackwater. Here's a foul by CJ Austria na driving Rome De La Rosa.
Looks like Magnolia likes this matchup. Na si De La Rosa binabante ni Austria, yung veterano, using his smarts as we now bring in Bell once again.
Dahil sa run ng Blackwater, kani-kanina lamang, Coach LA expressed his frustration over the Hotshots not executing, merely moving the ball left to right and not waiting for the screen. In his words, we're taking bad shots, kaya sila nakakatakbo. So let's focus on getting stops and then we execute. So let's see how they can sustain the little steps that they've already taken in response to Coach LA. Gentlemen.
Maraming salamat, Bellwell. That's definitely true. Yung kaninang 11-0 start ng Blackwater in the second quarter, it was a lot of errors of Magnolia that the Boston capitalized on.
That's right. At kulang din sila sa execution. They allowed Blackwater's defense to dictate kung anong gagawin nila. Now to other proof for Rome De La Rosa. And you know that guy's an 89.5% free throw shooter. He's not going to miss too many shots from the line.
Austria, labas kay Barkley. Has Lucero on him.
That's
Three doesn't work.
Yeah, he's well defended. Magnolia has also scouted Barkley extremely well.
Paulie, nahuli pa rin ni Barkley. But Lucero there, mopping up the miss.
What a big run here from Magnolia. You can see that they're beginning to find their groove. That lead is now down to 4. And it was highest at 10 points.
Barefield, short on the 3, hahabulin ni Lee. But Barefield with the deflection recovered by Lucero. They go to Lee, 3 on the way, no! And Barkley now on a counter-attack.
It's 1 against 3.
Foul called on Magnolia. Might not have been the best decision for Gatrell Barkley, but
Actually, tumingin muna si Barkley kung meron siyang kakampi. Running the court with him, nakita niya wala. Instead,
sige na nga, sabi niya.
well, nandiyan na siya eh. Tatlo
Look at
yung
this.
kalaban eh. I thought I saw him lumingon eh. Tapos sabi niya, okay, titira ko na lang. Bahala na. Well, that's what you call confidence in yourself. And for Barkley, that confidence is coming from a lot of his championship experience. He played on champion teams in Taiwan as well as in Vietnam.
well, si Coach L.A. Tenorio he got warned for resentment to a call. Ang hinahanap niya, Dean, is yung banggaan dito sa kabilang side pa sa court nila. He felt that Magnolia got fouled bago pa naka-atake ito si Barkley.
Again, it's all a matter of getting used to the interpretation of contact under FIBA rules.
Yes, kung hindi po kayo masyado familiar, there are some rule changes that
Yes.
the PBA is introducing, all for a good cause.
It's to get everyone tuned in to how FIBA plays its game, and it's really because of Gilas. Here's a defensive rebound coming from CJ Austria.
Grabe rin yung suporta ng PBA sa Gilas din.
Oh, yes.
Dati, we were talking about schedules, pero ngayon niya, pati yung rules. Because kailangan nga natin masanay how it's played internationally. Barkley, he's fouled again. But you know what? It looks like the referees are letting them play. May mga banggaan on these attacks that...
At napapansin natin dito, yung mga referees, tatawag lang sila on the contact if one team is put at an advantage or disadvantage. So if it's an incidental or inconsequential contact, hindi sila pipito, which is the right thing to do.
Barkley now at the line. He only has 5 points so far. 7 na pala. And that's his 8th now. And this is FIBA instructor Muhammad Al-Amiri of Kuwait. And he is here para nga mag-conduct ng mga training sessions with our PBA referees. So FIBA technical consultant po siya. And he's helping the PBA take those necessary steps para ma-assess natin yung ating national team, ang Gilas Pilipinas, to be more battle-ready pagdating ng mga windows.
He's a level 1 FIBA instructor, and you recall in 2014 FIBA World Cup in Spain, he was one of the referees in that competition. There's the pick and roll once more. And the outside shot.
That's his second 3. 10 points now for Buffin.
And yung punto sinasabi natin kanina, if Magnolia doesn't have the pick and roll, they can always go to the outside. They've got shooters who are ready to pull the trigger. Ito, tumatakbo ang Magnolia.
Lee, babangga kay Barefield.
And that door was shut on Paul Lee down the baseline. Good job there defensively by Barefield.
Under 4 minutes to play in the second half. Ganda nung inbound pass. Pero mas maganda yung depensa ni Barkley. Buffin missing. Getting it back thanks to the tap of Hopia.
Hopia playing against his former teammates at Blackwater.
Lastimosa.
What a move! What a move! But he will not score!
But Hopia there to save the day for the Hotshots.
Offensive rebound coming from Hopia and the putback. You know, in the last conference, he averaged only 4.43 minutes a game. There's an outside shot. It's not falling now for Blackwater. Panopio missing.
Imagine din if James Laput becomes healthy and is able to share the court with Hopia. Those are going to be towering presence.
Twin towers, for sure. There's a defense by James Una stopping that layup.
Grabe pa rin yung depensa, no? For both teams,
Yeah.
etong ganda nung crossover ni Lastimosa, just missing the layup.
Pero nandun si is that Zavier Lucero on the putback.
Magnolia has been going a lot for yung mga knockout play sa inbound, lalong-lalo na sa baseline. And they've had success a couple of times already.
Kanina pa natin sinasabi, Jot, that this has been a very defense-oriented game. Well, guess what? Blackwater shooting only 35% from the floor, and Magnolia 34%. So it's way below 40% shooting from the field. That's another block there by Una, but there was a foul on the drive.
So that's going to be Lastimosa at the line. We have a timeout now, requested by the Blackwater bossing. There's a tick under 3 minutes left dito sa ating second quarter. Lamang pa rin ang Blackwater.
Hey, you gotta execute. Hey, listen, hey, you gotta come down. You gotta execute. We're not executing any play. It's all one-on-one, we're all 1-2 passes, and we're all like that. Vale. You gotta execute a little bit. Alright? Let's try this one. KB, Una, Nick, and Zen. Down. For Una. KB, we're done. Set here, Nick here.
Take a look at Magnolia's numbers back in the Commissioner's Cup against yung mga numerong na itala nila against Phoenix.
What a drop. 102 points. Ang kanilang in-average sa Commissioner's Cup down to 86. And in terms of three-point percentage, bumaba din. By the way, that 40% shooting in the Commissioner's Cup, that was #1 sa liga natin. Perimeter points, yun, nakita natin also a drop by Jerome Lastimosa at the line. Remember, this guy was part of the Coach Norman Black team that won gold in the last SEA Games. You remember Jerome Lastimosa, along with guys like Chris Ross. Oh, check that. That was 2023 SEA Games in Cambodia. That was when we won the gold. So not coached by Norman Black. That was coached by Chuck Reyes. So I correct myself. But yes, Lastimosa was on that lineup along with Marshall Lassiter, Mike Phillips, Arvin Tolentino, Justin Brownlee, Octana, CJ Perez. Boy, what an all-star cast. And that was a redemption victory for Coach Shot, getting back the gold medal in the SEA Games in Cambodia.
And back then, hindi pa PBA player etong si Jerome, di ba?
Yes,
and
yes.
I think that was really yung first baptism of fire niya with the pros here in the PBA. And conducted himself very well. Pinatunayan that he can hang with them.
And don't look now, that lead of Blackwater has been trimmed down to just one. A furious comeback here for the Hotshots.
Panopio wanted to give it to Barkley, taken away by Buffett. Demuses with a hard
Oh,
foul.
hindi na pumasok. But he'll have to earn his points from the line. But what defense now being shown by Magnolia? And we did say this is Magnolia's game. Low scoring, defense-oriented. Blackwater also played good defense. But now, you're seeing the defensive teeth ng Magnolia bite into that big lead ng Blackwater.
Again, KJ Buffin, in their last game against Phoenix, 15 points and 12 rebounds. He does have 11 points and 9 boards now. May 2.5 minutes pa tayo in the first half. More importantly, he has tied the game, but unable to give the lead to Magnolia.
Hopia almost got the rebound, but Buffin, by the way, is the tallest import in this conference, 6'5" and 13 over 16.
Demuses from the corner. No good. Una with the board. Hindi lang makuha yung putback. Oh, and they're gonna count the basket. They counted the basket. I don't know kung yung attempt siguro ni Una.
Una is going to be credited with a basket. Coach L.A. Tenorio wondering what the call was.
Kinapitan daw yung net eh. That was the motion of our referee. Let's see it here.
Is that net touched?
So
There
Una.
we go.
Okay.
There was that touch on the net.
Great catch by our referee.
Could have been a travel there by Lastimosa on the shift.
Sa sobrang bilis, hindi mo na alam.
eh.
But Buffett hanging in the air.
There's going to be a foul underneath. Hopia, good offensive rebounding position. Getting a lot of burn time here for Magnolia.
Alam mo din, maraming mga tinuturo sa basketball na nag-a-adapt. Minsan nag-iiba with the game, the way the game is played nowadays. Pero may isang hindi magbabago. Pag matangkad ka, wag mo na ibaba yung bola.
Tama.
That's what Hopia did.
Hopia, 6'8", 28 years old. Kabisado niya ang laro ng Blackwater. And that's probably one big reason why he started in this game. The score is now tied. It's a scoring drought here for Blackwater. That's going to be goaltending.
So back-to-back yan.
Oo.
Goaltending violations. Or basket interference. Both leading to buckets para sa Blackwater. That's why they stay on top by 2. But you know, for Barefield, that's actually his first field goal. He only has 4 points.
His first points came from the free throw line. Here's Hopia on the outside.
Barkley guarding Lastimosa. Buffett.
We got to put it up.
KJ. Din kanina pa yun. Yung mga ganong gulong dun sa layup ni Buffett. Just that rim refusing to take in that ball.
They're bothered by the defense ng Blackwater. Na sinasabi natin, maganda rin ang pinapakitang defense ng Blackwater. But here in the second quarter, Magnolia has put on a show. Well, that guy is trying to put on a show himself. That's a long 2 coming from Barefield. stretching the lead to 4.
We've seen that before. The moment na mabutas na ni Barefield yung baskets, sometimes tuloy-tuloy na yan.
Sandali, may timeout yata. What's going on?
They're gonna check the hand of KJ Buffin. Looks like there might be some bleeding there that they have to address.
There's 52.2 seconds to go. Been an exciting one. Neither team has breached 50 points in this rather low-scoring ball game. We've seen the opposing coaches go to their benches a lot. Daing mga second-unit players getting a lot of time dito. And why not?
It looks like it's gonna be a mandatory substitution. Mukhang kakailanganin palitan ni Coach L.A. Tenorio, and he's gonna be bringing in Chris Kuhn for the first time in this game.
Well, Kuhn is a dangerous shooter. In an instance where you need a basket with time running out, not only in the shot clock but also on the game clock, you don't want a Chris Kuhn on the floor.
But he'll have to wait a little bit more before he sees action. Dahil may 30-second timeout. Naiingin si Coach L.A. Tenorio.
At yung ating governor ng Magnolia, si Jason Webb. Actually, that's an all-star cast supporting Coach L.A. Tenorio.
And alam mo, yan din yung role ni Coach Jason, yung makikipag-usap sa officials pag may question sila. When he was an assistant coach, that used to be his role. So even as team governor now, hindi niya pa rin naiiwan yung mga responsibilidad na yun, di ba? Siguro, parang muscle memory na, oh look, I am a legend.
Ba?
Sitting on the sidelines.
Well, he's a supporter of Blackwater. He's a very good friend of the Blackwater team owner, Giselle Dossi. Jerry Peñalosa, two-time world boxing champion, super flyweight champion, bantamweight champion, both WBC and WBO. What a career he had. Certainly a legend in Philippine boxing history. 2 possessions left here in this first half. Maroca is back, along with Lastimosa, 2-point guards on the floor at the same time.
Magnolia has 12 seconds to work with. Kuhn, hinahanap si Hopia against the Muses. Gets it to the big man. Kuhn, with a couple of seconds left, he has to put it up. Lucero knows, pero hindi umabot yung tira niya.
That's a 24-second shot clock violation. Again, the defensive job ng Blackwater. They didn't run flick and roll that time. It's a 30-second timeout. Hopia's not a good roller on the pick and roll. I think they wanted him to roll, but instead, he provided the screen.
Well, we have 31.7 seconds left in the second quarter. We'll take this time to remind you that the FIBA Basketball World Cup Asian qualifiers will be back in the Philippines. Panoorin niyo po yung Group E teams featuring Syria, Iran, Jordan, New Zealand, Australia, and syempre our very own Gilas Pilipinas. August 28 and August 30 are the game days at the SM Mall of Asia Arena. Tickets are now available via www.smtickets.com. Alam natin marami naghihintay. Susubok makakuha niyo mga tickets na yan. Pwede na po, puntahan niyo lang po yung website.
Big games coming up for Gilas because we need to win as many games as we can to make sure that we make it to the World Cup in Qatar in 2027.
That Group E is looking a little bit better for us with teams we're more familiar with, diba? Historically, medyo mas magandang record natin against them. Here's Blackwater now. Panopio goes up top to the Muses. Nick did not finish. On a second try, he draws a foul.
That's tough rebounding by Nick. He missed a potential layup conversion, but he'll go to the line now. 17.7 seconds to go, so there will be another possession here for Magnolia. Lamang ng Blackwater is 4. You know, Jordan's a tough team, by the way. They've got an NBA player who's now their naturalized. Hindi na naglalaro si Ronde Hollis Jefferson for Jordan. They've got Jalen Harris, who's a terrific player. Someone who's averaging 27 points in the qualifiers, World Cup Asia qualifiers, that is.
The games are gonna be tough, all of them. Don't get us wrong. Pero, you know, we always believe in Gilas Pilipinas.
Tsaka triple headers on 28th and the 30th. So fans are going to get to watch 3 games for the price of 1 ticket.
It's gonna feel like 2023 again, Dean, when the countries all came here to play for the FIBA World Cup. Sana maulit yun, no? Sana ma-experience ulit natin yun.
Here we go.
10 seconds left.
Last possession of this quarter.
Baroka making his move.
Nasa penalty na.
Buffin.
Blackwater.
Lamasque good from the right corner, missing the 3. That ball sails out of bounds, pero wala na rin mauubo. May iwang oras on the clock. Blackwater doing enough to take a 6-point lead into the break.
Well, tough defense here on the rebound for Blackwater. Kasi nakita natin kanina, yung Magnolia, nakabalik sila. They were down 10. They brought that lead down to 1. Did they lead at all? I think they might have led even here in the second quarter. But then nakabalik ang Blackwater with that excellent series of defense.
Stadium, it's Blackwater up by 6 points over Magnolia. Ito po, magandang lungsod ng Maynila. A double-header for your Friday evening coming from this stadium. And we thank you for joining us. John Sulit here together with the Dean Quinito Henson. Dean, your thoughts on what we've seen so far?
Excellent defense being played by both teams. Kanya napakaganda ng laro. You've got some sparkling performances from the imports, but not spectacular enough to make you sit up and take notice because it's really been the locals providing tough defense. Makita natin in the percentages here, neither team has shot 40% or over. Yung bench points, ito, advantage ng Blackwater. Perimeter points, malaki yun, 17-6. We were saying Magnolia, they need to be able to stretch the floor, get those shooters going. But in assist or turnover, lamang ang Magnolia, they've got 9 assists and only 7 turnovers. While on the other hand, Blackwater, 6 and 8. That's a big reason kung bakit Magnolia is still in the hunt for a win.
You know, in their last game, in the win against Rain or Shine, si Kentrell Barkley, first quarter pa lang, 18 na agad eh. Now he's slow. He's not as fast in terms of scoring, but he does have a lot of help still around him.
One thing about Barkley, he only has 1 assist. Kanya yung sinasabi natin kanina about our Dean's List for Magnolia, don't make him a passer. It's happening. They're making him look to score. He's not getting the points, but he's only had 1 assist.
Well, they do have scorers as well on the Magnolia side, and well, KJ Buffett leading all Hotshots with 11 points. Now let's update our Dean's List. Dean, simulan natin sa Blackwater.
Yung Blackwater, unang-unang punto natin, they need to trap the pick and roll because that's a patented play ng Magnolia. They're doing a good job of that, and that's a check mark for them. They've not been able to run the floor. In fact, only 4 fast break points here for Blackwater in the game. So that's an X mark. But they've been able to limit their turnovers. That's only 8 turnovers for Blackwater in the first half. For Magnolia naman, same report card. 2 check marks and 1 X.
We'll go through that in just a bit, but we send it now to our Coliseum announcer.
PBA Commissioner Willie Marshall. Team owner of Blackwater Bossing, Mr. Giseldo C. And Magnolia PBA Board Governor Jason Webb. PBA fans, in the first quarter of their game against Phoenix last July 11, 2026 at the Inares Center, Montalban, he became the 104th member of the PBA's 5,000-point club, the 99th local, 16th active player, and 10th to achieve it with the Magnolia franchise. PBA fans, please join us in giving a congratulatory round of applause to Magnolia's Ian.
You know, Sangalang could have gotten to that mark much faster kung hindi lang siya na-bother ng mga injuries, di ba, earlier in his career. But still, an incredible achievement para kay Ian.
5,000-point club. And look at his performance and his credentials. A very rich resume for Ian Sangalang.
99th local. So ngayon, lahat ng
Oo.
ibang locals, mag-uunahan na
Yes.
na makasunod kasi ikaw yung magiging pang 100. Ngayon, since nandiyan na rin tayo sa Magnolia, pag-usapan natin yung updated wins list sa kanila.
Well, nasabi natin kanina yung Blackwater, 2 check marks and 1 X mark. Same report card for Magnolia. They've been able to get their points in the painted area, and that's 22-16 ang advantage nila. Post up and slashes have been good. They have not been able to make those hard closeouts because 17-6 ang advantage ng Blackwater in perimeter points. And also they have not allowed Barkley to pass the ball, and that's a big check mark. We did say that very uncanny yung strategy na yun. This guy's an excellent passer. He had 10 assists in the first game of Blackwater, which they won. Now only with 1 assist, so that's a big check mark for Magnolia in how they're defending Barkley.
Parang ang good for 2 checks yun because they also have really not allowed him to score much. Only 9 points at the half. You know, Hopia has really made his presence felt in this game, Dean.
And good to see that Hopia is getting the big break here coming from Coach L.A. Tenorio. And, you know, in the first half, see Hopia coming through with 6 points and 3 rebounds. And we did mention in the last Commissioner's Cup, he averaged only 1 point and 1 rebound a game. That's 4 minutes and 43 seconds of action. But right now, he already has played 9 minutes and 14.
He's starting the second half on the floor para sa Magnolia. Although coming up empty from the line. Magnolia will retain possession though. It's Lastimosa joined by Baroka, Lucero, Buffin, and Hopia. Same 5 that started for Coach L.A. And Lastimosa nagparamdam agad.
Manufacturing a shot there over RK Ilagan on the drive on the right side.
He's got 5 points. That's his first field goal of the game. Baroka got caught with his hands in the cookie jar. At dalawang legendary point guard yung nagreklamo dun sa pitong yun. Si Mark and Coach L.A. Tenorio. Dean, this gives us a chance na makibalita kay Bel kung ano ba napag-usapan ng dalawang teams.
Sa dugout ng Bossing, they place an emphasis on limiting Magnolia's offensive rebounds. Ayon kay Assistant Coach Joe Silva, Coach Pat also instructed Blackwater to push the ball more, hunt for points in transition, and do not settle for the outside. After merely shooting 3 of 12 from beyond the arc in the first half. Nagustuhan naman ng Magnolia ayon kay Assistant Coach Juno Soler how they've kept the score low. In the dugout, they cleared up their pick and roll coverage on defense, and on offense, they want to get to their points of attack better. Gentlemen.
Style kasi talaga ng Magnolia yan eh. A low-scoring game would naturally favor them. And they're playing catch-up here. And Lastimosa helping them. Thanks for that report, Bel.
That's the second straight time Lastimosa scored from that angle. Oh, kita mo naman. Binuwian ka agad ni RK Ilagan. That's a tough move.
Sabi ni Jerome on one side, anong height nyo? Sabi naman ni RK on the other, anong height mo?
At papakitaan yung dalawa. What a steal coming from RK from the blind side. And he scores. Binawi na yung dalawang layup ni Lastimosa with his own version of 2 layups.
I expected a dunk on that last sequence. Pero sige, RK, it's the same 2 points. I'm sure Blackwater very happy with the response dahil
Not only that, Jack, hindi hinabol ng Magnolia. Pinabayaan nila si RK Ilagan to go unmolested with that layup.
Our official IT partner, our value licenses, PBA freshman signal, World Balance, Daily Fantasy.
Well, that was an early timeout na hiningi ni Coach L.A. Tenorio dito sa third quarter because RK Ilagan went on a tear, back-to-back hit sa kanya. The hard work is paying off, Dean.
You see this training video of RK Ilagan. He rarely misses. This guy's a dead shot, and he's got those strong legs to propel him.
Well, RK and Mark Baroka share the same skills coach and madalas nagkakasama rin yan dyan sa mga skills training nila. That's the mark of a great player. And I know common naman na ngayon din yung may skills and development coach. But these pros, no matter how long they've been in the league, regardless of ilang championships na napanalunan, gaano kalaki na ang kinita as players, they keep on sharpening the knife. But that negative step of Austria along the sidelines, napaapak siya sa linya.
And what about that that thrust ni Barkley? He had a shot. He was inside the shaded area. He had the shot but still opted to pass.
Ito yung sinasabi natin, by the way, Dino, yung RK Ilagan has only played 7 games prior to this conference. Buong season po yan, 7 games pa lang being hampered by injuries. Pero nararamdaman ng Blackwater yung presence niya every time he's able to suit up.
Especially in this game. And as far as the previous game as well, that's a 4-pointer attempted by La Simora. Kasi paubos na yung shot clock nila. That was a shot of last resort.
And Jerome can hit that. Di lang pumasok yung time na yun. Barkley, he hit a 3 earlier this quarter.
Dancing with Buffin. Got it back again.
Barkley missing. Kanya pa rin yung rebound.
And he will miss. Hit, finally. Abu Trotter with the offensive rebound and a tip. That's 11 points now that Blackwater has opened sa kanilang lead.
Like they did in the second period. Strong start na naman para sa Bossing here in the third. Lucero hasn't really made much noise here. Bumping. Oh, what a sidestep! And the finish through the foul.
Well, nabanggit mo, Lucero, not contributing at all here. CJ Austria, one of the best defenders ng Blackwater, is now assigned to shadow Lucero. Lucero is not getting any touches. Ito naman yung escape act ni Buffin.
He got rid of Barkley's defense completely.
Now, earlier we were talking about Barkley having won championships in Taiwan and Vietnam. Well, Buffin is also coming off a stint in New Zealand where he won a league championship back in 2024. And that was where he shot 42% from 3 and 91% from the line.
Barefield.
What a move.
He just turned the corner and turned on the Jets.
Barefield now with 8 points.
Blackwater's lead up to 10. Lucero. Nice pass. Great connection with Lastimosa.
That's also a smart move by Lucero. He's not looking for a shot. He knows that he's well covered, so he's looking to pass.
Here's Blackwater on the other side. Austria gagamit ng screen mula kay Barkley. Ilagan has it kontra kay Lastimosa. Now it's Sangalang picking him up. Walang problema para kay RK.
14 points now for RK Ilagan.
He's just a natural scorer.
Oh, yeah, he is. He's got those strong arms, nice flick of the wrist.
Entry pass, a little bit too strong. Lucero. Iwan kay Buffin. Natapik ni Ilagan yung pasa. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Jerome nawala ng balance. Naibigay pa kay Baroka. Corner 3 won't work.
And here we go with Blackwater once again. It's Barefield on the attack. Barefield on the move, and he missed.
Lost control of that basketball right at the last second.
10-point lead enjoyed by Blackwater.
Sangalang, the spacing hasn't been too good para sa Magnolia.
That lane is congested by Blackwater. Here we go.
Lucero against Austria. Zavier, ayaw pa rin pumasok ng tira. And Baroka, I mean, that's just being a vet. Coming out of nowhere, getting that rebound, At nung nakaramdam ng contact, nakarinig ng pito, init siya na lang, he's gonna be at the line.
Smart move there by Baroka. He got the rebound and also made the attempt in one motion. Panopio had 10 points in the first half. Is back, and Baroka, wala pang ginagawa dito, ha? He started in this game, Jut, but yeah, that's just his first point of the game.
Indeed, we talked about, on top of Mark, yun ding Paul Lee, di ba? Si Paul Lee also identifying him as one of the weapons of Magnolia. But Paul has not scored in this game either. 0 of 4 si Lee from the field. Baroka now has 2 points. Panopio, he had a brilliant start to his PBA career back in the Philippine Cup. Medyo tumahimik ng commissioners and now trying to make noise again in the third conference.
Naipit doon si Demuses down the baseline. Got the ball to bounce off Sangalang. 9 seconds of the shot clock on Blackwater.
Here's Panopio running into trouble. Needs a teammate.
It's a travel. Naipit siya doon. That's good defense by Magnolia. Lead is down to 8.
That's always been the character of the Hotshots. Even with their previous coaches, yung pressure D has always been suffocating from the Hotshots.
And that's with Baroka and Lastimosa.
You remember the time din na may Baroka at Halalo na pinapakawalan sila sa backcourt?
Oo.
Tapos wala na makatawid.
Those guys are really strong backcourt defenders.
Magnolia, it's Baroka, may wrestling match underneath. The Muses and Sangalang parehong bumagsak. And a foul is gonna be called on the Muses. Ito yung nangyari while Baroka was lining up his shot. Labanan agad sa rebound so a foul is called on Nick.
You know, interesting that Coach Patakino bringing in the Muses, who's 35 years old. He's a 4-year PBA veteran. And he went to add veterans in the mix of Blackwater, even if their average age is 29 years old. Here's Austria giving up the pass. Hindi pumasok.
Panopio made his first 4 attempts but has missed his last 2. Lamang pa rin naman ang 8. Ito Blackwater and Baroka. Look at him fool everyone. Biglang nawala yung depensa. Baroka now with 4 points.
Guys scoring for Magnolia dito sa ating third quarter. Their guards. Lastimosa and Baroka. There's going to be a foul kanino.
Well,
It's Magnolia's ball. Oh, basket is good.
Dahil dun sa pagtapik ni Buffett, umalog yung
yes.
goal post din eh. And
Okay.
KJ Buffett is complaining about that call. But ito rin kasi minsan as an import, when you're bouncing around from league to league, you need to quickly get familiar with the rules of itong ligang paglalaroan mo. And well, that's the rules here in the PBA.
Eto, watch it here. Yeah, he slammed his palm on the backboard, and that's a no-no.
Third time na yan din, either basket interference or goaltending for Magnolia.
And Barefield now with 10 points. Look at how tough the defense of Blackwater is.
Buffett trying to work against the Muses. Got to the paint and got the bucket.
That's patience on the part of Buffett. 16 points para sa kanya. This lead is down to 6
Barefield na naman.
against Chris Kuhn.
Kuhn trying to give him the left side. Set. Out to Panopio. Bibitaw ng 3. Another miss. But no one there to get the board.
Oh, but he missed it completely.
Libre sana
that was
yun.
a wide open layup. And here
And
we go.
Lucero! Showtime in Ninoy Aquino Stadium.
That defense of Magnolia translated into a fast break attack. Diyan mo makikita, no? Ginagawa ng Magnolia dito. Oh, foul here against Baroka. Almost had a steal. Nasa loob na ng painted area. Si Panopio, he lost his footing. He was in no man's land. Got a break there, and Baroka was called for a foul. Got a break.
Look at this. Our play of the game brought to you by Sports Plus. Lucero rocking the rim. And it looks like they will have to address the bleeding concern kay KJ Buffin na kanina pa yan din, first half pa lang. We already had to stop play to attend, well actually, stop play for a while. Nagkaroon ng mandatory substitution late in the second quarter.
Now they're checking if there's a cut. He might be replaced here. Yes, he will be replaced. Javi Gomez de Leaño is checking back in for Buffin.
What a game this has been.
Oh yeah.
It's very early in the conference, in the elimination round. First round pa nga lang ng elims but it's felt like a playoff game.
And there's going to be a foul. Christian David attacking. David hindi pa nakaka-score dito.
With the return of Dalf Panopio, the return of RK Ilaga na parehong ang ganda ng pinakita in their first game at sa larong to. Where do you see or how do you see Christian David finding his fit in the offense of Blackwater?
You know, I think it's important that everybody gets to play with each other. Yung chemistry, napaka-importante dito for Coach Pat Aquino, which is the reason why I mentioned earlier, he brought in some veterans like the Muses. Mike Di Gregorio, who's 34 years old, also was brought in late in the last conference, and he's still in the lineup of Blackwater. But for a guy like David, who's only 27 years old, he's got to find his way and go to his strength. The guy is tall, he's got a good outside shot, he can post up if he wants to, but he needs to sharpen up on his rebounding and defense.
You know, you were talking about pagpasok ng mga veterano. Binalik nga nila si James Sena, although he hasn't seen action in this game yet.
He's one of those guys Coach Pat Aquino is turning to for veteran experience.
Panopio
now got 12 points, but he missed, I think, his last
3 shots bago yan. Yeah. A 3:40 left in the third quarter.
Now there's a switch. Barkley kanina was defending Lucero. And
Sanggalang bumps into the Muses. A foul
on the Muses.
Was it before the attempt? I think yun yung pag-uusapan. The referees.
But they might also be talking about whether that was a play on the ball, because
parang niyakap ni the Muses.
Oh, looked like he caged him.
So they're gonna take a look at it again.
And they'll see whether they'll upgrade it or not. Ito, hinawakan with both arms. That could be an unsportsmanlike.
Yeah. And this might be a better angle.
Yeah. He tried to stop it, but didn't go for the ball. That could be an unsportsmanlike. That's 2 free throws and possession, if that is called. Again, under the new FIBA rules, a play like that will normally be unsportsmanlike. But let's see what the referees say. Could be a regular foul, could be unsportsmanlike. Pero ngayon, Jot, wala na tayong transition take, wala na tayong disadvantage foul, wala na deliberate foul. All of that now will be under unsportsmanlike. And yes, it is an unsportsmanlike call. It'll be 2 free throws and possession.
Foul, number 7, Nick Muses.
So kung nasanay po kayo dun sa flagrant 1, F1, F2, may sit out ng 3 minutes sa una, 5 minutes for the following sanctions. Wala na po yun. It's how the FIBA calls it, and that's a sportsmanlike foul which has been given to the Muses dun sa foul niya kay Sanggalang.
Nandun pa rin yung what they call disqualifying foul for FIBA, and that takes the place of a flagrant 2.
Well, we saw that kanina in the first game. It was called on Damian Chongqui when we saw him throw that ball towards the referee in an aggressive manner.
And that's why it was a disqualifying foul. But the penalty doon is also 2 free throws and possession. Plus ejection. So yun ang kaibahan. Disqualifying foul at saka yung unsportsmanlike. Yung unsportsmanlike, walang sit-out yun, wala ding ejection.
I think
ejection will come in sa disqualifying. Yeah. Missed 2 free throws.
Yeah, and it's very uncanny for Sanggalang because kadalasan reliable yan si Ian from the line.
Oh, there's a pick and roll right there. And he will score.
Bumawi naman.
Yeah. That's what we've been waiting for. One of the best teams that execute the pick and roll is Magnolia.
They have the tools to maximize yung pick and roll. Rebound taken by Panopio. Nahuli ni Javi Gomez Del Llano. That's a block for Javi, but ball will stay with the bossing with 11 seconds left. Anim ang iniingat ng lamang ng Blackwater.
O Panopio in that drive to the basket, he did not protect the ball, and that's why he was blocked. So you need to be able to see where the defender is. What an aggressive move there coming from Barkley. He's got 14 points. Blackwater needs a lot more of that.
It's been a tough evening para kay Barkley coming off that masterful performance against Rain or Shine.
And if Magnolia's gambit is to not making a passer and give him the ball so that he can try to score, he should take advantage. Why not?
An offensive foul called on Sanggalang. So that time, nakabawi naman si Demuses.
Well, silang dalawa, Demuses and Sanggalang, they're having a very physical battle.
Ian really pleading his case. Parang nakuha na siya ng posisyon ni Demuses.
Ayun. The is going down. Are they going to review that?
Well, we're not
there
sure.
Might have been a clenched fist. Wow, not too sure. But mukha naman walang tawag.
Nick and KB. Nick, KB. Set a pick. KB, stay here. Nick, get that ball right here. KB, let down. Stop, go here, go here. But Nick, you gotta go here. This is the one. While Nick is doing this, while Nick is doing that, while KB is doing this. Sorry.
Maraming salamat sa inyong patuloy na pagsubaybay sa PBA dito sa RPTV at One Sports YouTube. Nothing to worry about Magnolia's import KJ Buffin. He sustained a deep wound sa dalawang daliri ng kanyang kaliwang kamay kaninang second quarter, but they have to keep retaping it. Kaya nakita natin siya sa bench. They were mad. They have been managing the pain. Kinailangan pa niya magpalit ng shorts kanina because of protocol, but aside from that, he is all good. Back to you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Belle. Well, eto si Buffin is on that Magnolia bench. They're gonna need him. Yung aggressiveness niya, what he brings to the team as they try to come back from this deficit.
And he's a tough defensive player too.
Yeah.
Barkley is now being defended by Lucero. Wala si Buffin. Is he gonna go strong?
Barkley. Natulas bahagya si Lucero. Barkley from deep. Lumabas yung tira niya. Here's a chance for Magnolia.
Yun ang sinasabi natin about David. He's got to be more active in getting to the boards, in getting rebounds. Wala si Trotter. Trotter does a good job of securing those rebounds. But David has to be a much better defender because sayang naman yung height niya.
Oh, that was a good deflection. Mula kay Panopio and Barkley completing that steal, but
almost a steal again.
Panopio thought about it. Bigay kay Demuses. Was defended well by Alfaro.
14 on the shot clock.
That ball will stay with Blackwater. And they still have 14 seconds.
Yeah, and still a very defense-oriented game. Pinapakita dito ng Blackwater na kaya din nilang sabayan ang Magnolia sa defensive game.
Pumasok na ulit si Buffett. At para naman sa Blackwater, we're gonna see for the first time this evening, itong si Dave Morel will be checking in for Barefield.
Places Barefield with 1:45 to go in the third period. The Moses has been earning his minutes on the floor, playing that tough defense.
I stand corrected. Nakapaglaro earlier si Morel. 17 seconds lang, mabilis lang.
Looks like a turnover. Naiipit si Panopio. He's got to know exactly yung timing when to release the ball. And sometimes when he comes inside with a ball in his hand, trying to create, naiipit siya. He's got to know the timing of when to release the ball.
That's 3 turnovers now for Panopio. A minute and a half left in the third. Kuhn swings it. Buffin wants to make up for the time he had to sit on the bench.
James Una sticking to him. Got away. There's the shot. And the connection.
19 points para sa import na Magnolia, coming off that 15-point performance in their loss to Phoenix. Another turnover for Panopio. Alfaro nahabol. And he's trying to set up Ian Sangalang, but they had to kick it out again. Kuhn from the left corner. No good. Kuhn saves it to Sangalang. Gomez Del Llano could not hit the three. And Morel will get it para sa Blackwater. Puro nakaputi yung mga nakita niya, and so he stepped on the brakes.
Magnolia got in the penalty.
Only 8 seconds on the shot clock para sa bossing Morel. Loses it momentarily. Una stuck in the middle. Panopio has to take it. Could not get it. Buffin with the board. Has 10 seconds to work with. It's Kuhn. Ian Sangalang underneath. 10 points for Sangalang. And he brings Magnolia to within 3.
That's an amazing sequence of defense and then scoring on the other end of the floor for Magnolia. Tatlo na lang alamang ng Blackwater. Magnolia with a big surge dito sa ating third quarter.
Tuloy-tuloy yung init na mga kamay nila into this game. But on the other side, Zavier Lucero, he has struggled a bit, but he's trying to make an impact late in this game. We know that he's been a very important piece ng Magnolia. Only 8 points so far. And now we take a look at the import matchup. Buffin looking for a better performance after his 15-point, 12-rebound debut against Phoenix that resulted to a loss. Si Barty naman gustong masundan yung kanyang triple-double in a win over Rain or Shine. Medyo nagkaiba yung mga kwento nila here in this game. But when it comes to the winner of this matchup, Dean, it's still hanging in the balance, and we're in for an exciting fourth quarter.
Magnolia scoring 24 points in the third quarter. That's the most that they have scored in any quarter so far in this game. At 20 in the first quarter, 18 in the second.
Una.
That's a looper of a shot. Una connecting.
He shot that over Ian Sangalang.
That's 4 points now for James Una.
Now it's Alfaro, guarded by Ilagan. Gomez Del Llano, bigay muna kay Sangalang. And Kuhn will have to take it.
And it will be fouled. He will be fouled by, is that Una? Una ang matatawagan ng foul. But just going back to Una, one of 2 fourth-round draft picks in the Blackwater roster, the other one being Mike De Gregorio, who hasn't played in this game.
Indeed, that's a 4-point shot.
Kuhn has not scored in this game, but he's being given a break here. Apat yun. They're reviewing whether that's a 4 or a 3.
They're gonna review it just to make sure, pero ang initial announcement was that it's gonna be 4 free throws. This is a great angle.
Ito, nakita natin. I think that was a 4. Yeah, that's a
free
fourth.
throws for Chris Kuhn.
And guess what? The lead of Blackwater is 5. If Kuhn makes these 4th free throws, that lead is going to go down to 1. That's how big a 4-point shot is in this game.
Etong si Kuhn, he has that ability to catch fire from beyond the arc.
Oh, he missed the second.
Third free throw from Chris Kuhn. Ang dami na ring weapon ito Magnolia from the wings. We have Javi Gomez Del Llano, Rome De La Rosa, itong si Chris Kuhn. Yukian Andrada also there, as well as Zavier Lucero. Kuhn split his free throws, 2 of 4. Ilagan, gusto ulit mag-ingay. Medyo naging tahimik na siya after a solid performance back in the first half.
Good job boxing out Barkley on that play.
Magnolia going back to their import. It's Buffett. Import versus import tayo. Barefield looking to help. And he gets the steal. You know, Morel finishing that with a slam.
And he asked for that pass. Binigyan naman sa kanya ni Barefield yung tira. Two-handed slam dunk. The lead is 5 for Blackwater.
Buffett wide open. They gave him the shot. And Blackwater had to pay.
Pick and pop situation. Buffett has that shot. He can't afford to give him the 3-pointer.
That's 22 points para kay KJ Buffett. Ilagan. Payong na payong siya kay Peter Alfaro, pero at the last second, mukhang tinamaan ni Alfaro, and that's why a foul was whistled. Ilagan goes to the line.
Already 4 double-figure scorers for Blackwater against 2 for Magnolia.
Bella ng balita.
Sa kanilang huling huddle, Coach Pat wants to see his men attack the basket more or them setting each other up better to clear a lane for an attacker. Special mention siya kay Sedrick Barefield to take over or at least call the shots depending on how he reads the floor. Sa kampo naman nila Coach LA, he commended Chris Kuhn for his hustle. Sa 50-50 balls, expressing how this is the kind of hustle he expects from the rest of the guys. Gentlemen.
And that's why Kuhn is on the floor even though he hasn't made a field goal because he provides the intangibles. At tulad ng sabi ni Bill, every team needs a guy like that.
Almost a steal here, but a deflection by RK Ilagan, making a big difference. Dito nakaka-16 points sa Ilagan.
Then how many times have we said Blackwater has deflected the Magnolia pass?
That's called disrupting the flow of the offense. At si Ilagan, marami nagtatanong, saan pagaling ito? San Sebastian player. And you remember he was a 3rd-round draft choice by Alaska back in 2020. He also played for Converge once upon a time. That's a 24-second shot clock violation. Again, that defense of Blackwater.
And you like also a guy like Dave Morel, napasigaw siya after they forced that shot clock violation because how much he takes pride in his defense. Nabasa niya yung gagawin ni Javi, which is pull up quickly from the outside. Ang tagal ba naman magkasama niyang dalawa sa UP? It's a 4-point lead now for Blackwater. RK wants to add, could not do so. Kuhn comes up with the board.
You know, I'm wondering why Abu Trator hasn't checked back in. He's like, oh, nice deflection there by James Una. Blackwater on the attack.
Ilagan flips it over everyone.
That's 18 points up for RK Ilagan. We were just talking about him. This guy, a 3rd-round draft pick. Look at the way he's playing.
Pero yung mga nakasunod sa career neto ni RK, they remember that lethal duo of him and Alin Bulanadi. And how much of a walking bucket this guy is, missing that time though.
That's a very high arching teardrop coming from RK. Oh, that's a catch and shoot.
Gomez Del Llano missing. And look at Coach Pat Aquino saying, relax lang tayo, let's take our time.
A lot of basketball time left.
Barkley attacking and finishing at the rim.
Dalawang dinaanan niya doon. And then there was a help defender, but Barkley still connecting with that layup. He's been getting a lot of the points from inside the shaded area, showing a lot of aggressiveness.
16 points para sa import ng Blackwater. You know, he knocked down 5 threes against rain or shine. Pero dito, sa loob na, tulad ng sabi mo, doon siya umaatake. Grabs another rebound.
Riscoon is just firing blanks now from the outside. That's going to be an offensive foul. And they're going to call it on Una. Kuhn going down. And for Blackwater, wasting a possession that time.
That's the third foul on James Una. Perhaps a little too late yung pag-set ni Una ng screen doon. Naunahan siya dun sa spot ni Chris Kuhn. So this is a big chance para sa Magnolia. 8 minutes left. 8-point game. Really have to appreciate the defense that both teams have played. Buffin. Another three for KJ.
He's waxing hot now, got 25 points. And he's looking for the ball. And his teammates are giving him the ball.
But that continues to be the concern. The bleeding dun sa daliri ni KJ Buffin.
And they need to tape that very well. There's a lot of blood on his shorts.
And every time, you know, that will ruin his flow kung kailangan lumabas maya't maya. So, Magnolia will take this time out. They're down by 5. Thanks for tuning in to RPTV for the continuation of the PBA Season 50 Governor's Cup. Ito yung last match-up na Blackwater at na Magnolia. This was back in the Commissioner's Cup eliminations. Nanalo yung Blackwater doon din, 97-91, behind 26 points mula kay Sedrick Barefield.
And in that game, hindi nga nakapaglaro si Dalf Panopio. Ilagan only had 4 points in that contest. But a big win here for Blackwater. That was Blackwater's second win of the season. The third was against San Miguel. And then the fourth was against Rain or Shine. They're looking for their 5th win this season.
And you know, Dean, that loss that they dealt to Magnolia, it put Magnolia in a 0-3 hole to start the Commissioner's Cup. So they're planning on doing the same, although 0-2 lang kung sakaling manalo Blackwater. They extend their lead to 7.
And kanina pinag-uusapan natin yung hustle being provided by Chris Kuhn. That time, the hustle of Blackwater to get that second chance opportunity. And once more, si Barkley attacking inside and scoring on the layup.
Outside shot hasn't really been falling for him. And so, nag-decide na nga itong si Kentrell, atake na lang ako. And he's been unstoppable here in the fourth.
Here's Jeron Lastimosa at the foul line.
Lastimosa now with 10 points.
Shot 72.6% from the line in the previous conference.
I think what's kind of surprising para kay Jerome dito sa larong to, he hasn't even attempted a single shot from beyond the arc.
And yun ang sinasabi natin about Magnolia. They're really depressing the dependence on the outside shot. Although dito sa ating fourth quarter, nakadalawang 3-point shots ang Magnolia courtesy of Buffin.
Buffin, yeah.
And, you know, they have the tools, they have the artillery, to hit from long distance. But, you know, it's a new approach here for Magnolia with Coach Elaine Tenorio. Want to go for the high percentage paint shots.
Barkley, he knew he had to take the shot. Buti na lang, andun si Una, offensive rebound.
But he lost it. He lost it.
Lost it to Buffin. On the move, Lastimosa.
That's a foul.
Fouled by Ilagan. Balik sa free throw line si Jerome.
And for Blackwater, they need to preserve those possessions. And here in the fourth quarter, nakita natin yung illegal pick. They lost the possession. Now, nakakuha ng defensive rebound si Una. He lost the possession. Ito ang hinahanap natin si Trotter. Played 15 minutes in this game so far. Been sitting on the bench for a long time. He's a top rebounder. He can also get you points. At 11 points in the previous game ng Blackwater. Pero ngayon, binalik siya ni Coach Pat Aquino. Ipasok yung tira ni Lastimosa.
You know, Trotter already has 9 rebounds. Kanina din, di ba? Kada may minutes, it was Trotter who was getting possessions para sa bossing.
But iba din ang hustle ang pinakita kanina ni Una. That's why he got a lot of minutes.
Ang hirap ng decision for Coach Pat Aquino because both guys gave him quality minutes.
Yeah, and plus the muses as well.
That's right. The good thing is they've been able to give Buffin different looks on defense. Barefield. Now it's Ilagan. That's off to the left. And kita mo yung box out ni Buffin, making sure hindi makaka-rebound si Trotter. Baroka speeds to the cup. It's a miss. Ilagan picks it up. Tatapikan sa likod.
Again, another wasted possession by Blackwater, throwing that ball away, given an opportunity for Magnolia to score. Eto na! Ang Magnolia nakatira at nakapasok yung tira ni Baroka. That's down to a 3-point lead here for Blackwater.
Barkley. Out to Ilagan. Extra pass. Austria mula sa kanto. That's no good. Trotter with rebound number 10. And Abu
And he
turns it into goal.
Yun ang hinahanap ng Blackwater. That kind of aggressiveness from Trotter. Offensive rebound and the score.
That's only his 4th point, but it's a very important bucket para sa bossing. Barok alabas kay Buffin. Another 3! He's hit 6 threes in this game. Pangatlo na in the 4th.
And they're going to the 3-ball now. And that's because that 3-ball is open for Magnolia. And why not? Take the 3-point shot. They were number 1 in that department in the Commissioner's Cup.
Dalawa na lang ang hinahabol ng Magnolia. Barkley locked up by Baroka.
Possession arrow will come to play. And it's Magnolia's ball on the jump ball call.
That's one of the new introductions or amendment of the rules. Also, wala na po tayong jump ball after that first one. We're going to be relying on the possession arrow like FIBA does. And right now, that possession arrow points to Magnolia. It's going to be their ball after this break. In their first game where they lost against Phoenix, everyone felt like hindi pa natin nakita kung ano talaga yung kayang ibigay neto ni KJ Buffin. Finished that game with 15 points and 12 rebounds. Maaga siyang na-foul trouble din kaya hindi masyado naibabad. But this time, I think we're really seeing what this guy can do on the court.
Excellent performance there by Buffin. Especially since we were saying that Magnolia, why not get the shots from the outside? They're good at stroking it from that distance.
Here's Buffin again. And he will tie things up at 79. Buffin with a 30-piece here tonight.
He's become an unstoppable force. Coming from just a 15-point performance in their previous game, which was a loss to Phoenix. Ron De La Rosa, just a tough on-ball defender, not a switch. And they're going to Lucero.
A difficult shot for Barefield.
And nobody there for the rebound for Blackwater. A chance for Magnolia to get the driver's seat.
And you can just feel the tension inside the Aquino Stadium. De La Rosa, ikot muna ng bola. It's with Buffin, the hot hand para sa Magnolia. Dancing with Tratter. KJ spinning.
And he will score.
Getting away and putting Magnolia on top.
He's on a rampage right now. And for Blackwater, you need to put a stop on Buffin. Either double team him, make sure he doesn't get the pass. Oh, that's a tough shot. Buffin, tinapon lang yung bola, pumasok pa. A lot of contact in that play, but he ties the count.
He was actually locked up already by Baroka, pero yung lakas ng upper body neto ni Barkley allowed him to power through. Lastimosa, nakagawan, or it's Baroka who recovered. Napalakas yung tira. Tratter gets another important board para sa Blackwater.
He's been big in getting those rebounds. But that defense of Blackwater, forcing that miss.
11 rebounds na yan para kay Abu. Barefield naman ngayon.
Pumasok.
Offensive foul!
Oh, offensive foul! They nullify the basket. And you know, sinasabi natin, especially here in the fourth quarter, a lot of wasted possessions by Blackwater. That's really because of the defense of Magnolia. Itong laro ng Magnolia, depensa.
And yung sinasabi ni Barefield was that Baroka pushed him from the back. Pero din, hindi... Maybe there was a bit of a nudge, but he did motion to his coach also, coaching staff, to challenge that whistle.
Well, they can challenge with 3:05 to go.
Might have been the perfect time, no?
Yeah, challengeable yun. If they wanted to.
If Sedrick was convinced that na-foul siya, natulak siya. But eventually, it's Magnolia's ball. The big block by Dem Muses. Austria on the move. Panopio thought about it. Huli naman ni Buffin.
That's about 3 blocks on Panopio. He's got to learn how to protect the ball when he's going up for a layup. Ito, makita natin.
Huli pala muna ni De La Rosa. And then Buffin with a statement.
Ilagan checking back in.
Pero di, ito pa rin yung kwento. Incredible defense on both ends. 2:40 to play. We're tied up at 81. Barkley has it.
Against a much smaller defender. Baroka got away from Baroka and he scores!
There was very little space. Pero yung space na yun lang yung kinailangan ni Barkley to get the 2 points.
Watch that spin move. Nakita niya kung sino yung kalaban niya, a much smaller defender. Watch him there, driving against Baroka, leaving him biting the dust.
It's 83-81, Blackwater on top by 2.
Kentel is a great teammate. I mean, when he came here, he studied who he's going to play for, and just happy that we had him. And I hope that we continue doing what KB. Just follow KB. I think we're going to go as far as we can go with KB around.
Well, clearly, Blackwater, Coach Patrick Aquino, the entire organization, They trust their import. Kentrell Barkley has 22 points and 9 boards. Ang ganda ng import matchup natin dito.
They're almost neutralizing each other. But so far sa ating fourth quarter, it's been very defensive. 18 points scored by Blackwater, 19 for Magnolia. Ito, ang depensa na naman ng Blackwater. They blocked the shot, but made possession pa ang Magnolia. Blackwater not able to get that possession off the block.
You already mentioned it back in the first half. Yung ganda ng interior defense ng Blackwater. They've been able to sustain it into the fourth. Lastimosa doesn't know there's no time on the clock.
Yeah, I don't think he was aware of how much time was left. Dapat your point guard should know. Yung bola na punta kay Lastimosa, I think if that ball had gone to Baroka, he would have known.
And now Blackwater with a chance to improve their lead. The last 2 minutes is brought to you by Sports Plus. Ilagan, pinatalon si Baroka.
And that's a foul. What a move by Ilagan. A fake on the shot and then napakagat na in depensa.
Kadalasan si Baroka ay nagpapakagat ng mga mas bata, but that time naisahan ni Ilagan.
Consistency binibigay dito ni RK Ilagan. He has scored in every quarter in this game.
Again, this is the very first player of the week netong ating bagong conference after a big performance in their win against Rain or Shine, finishing with 22 points. Now he's got 19. More importantly, he's looking to give Blackwater a 4-point lead.
87.5% free throw shooter. He makes both.
20 puntos para kay Ilagan.
4-point lead. Not just a one possession lead for Blackwater. Button has been on fire and he does not score.
Baroka was there to try and pick it up. Pero last touch ni Mark.
Blackwater ball. They're going to review this. We're in the last 2 minutes of the ball game. That out of bounds call will be reviewed. Nakita natin yung pagkatira ng Magnolia. Tatlo yung rebounders ng Blackwater to make sure that they got the possession. Ito makita natin. Ito yung tatlo.
And they had the inside possession sa lahat ng potential rebounders ng Magnolia.
I think that went off Baroka. Can you imagine the potential rebounders of Magnolia? Yung maliit pa, nasa loob, trying to get the rebound because those 3 Blackwater rebounders boxed out the big guys ng Magnolia.
This has been an exciting game for sure. Kahit low scoring, binanggit natin low scoring, lalo na compared to the other games we've seen here in the Governor's Cup. But no shortage of excitement at all, Dean.
Now it's been heart-stopping for sure as you see the referees now reviewing that out-of-bounds play.
Dean, how about Blackwater? I mean, anything can happen at this point, but I think they've established that they're here to really put up a fight dito sa Governor's Cup after a huge win against Rain or Shine.
Actually, hindi lang yung Blackwater. I think every team in this conference really giving it a good fight. Except maybe Macau, because they're still short-handed. Hindi pa kompleto sila. No? I was just hoping that sa pag-umpisa ng conference, dapat kompleto rin yung lineup nila. Anyway, Macau is struggling, but there are teams that are fighting. Terra Firma is 1 and 2. But those two losses could have gone their way.
Isang 1-point loss, isang 2-point loss.
At sakit ng mga pagkatalo ng Terra Firma. But they're fighting. And it's going to be Blackwater ball.
They confirm the initial call. Bola ng mga bossing.
The Muses is going to inbound. Now, who's going to be the recipient? RK Ilagan wants the ball. He's a quarterback. They need to preserve this possession. Oh, what about that hounding defense by Alfaro? Or rather, Baroka. And, oh, that shot.
Walang ibang
Was
nakaawak ng
missed.
bola in that possession.
But they didn't get enough time off the clock. At madali doon si RK Ilagan.
Lastimosa, hounded by Barkley. Now it's with Baroka.
Are they going to go for a long shot? Are they going to go for the shot inside?
Well, Blackwater's defense is everywhere. A miss by De La Rosa and Barkley.
Claiming the rebound.
He gets to a double-double with that, 22 and 10. Barkley all the way.
And he was fouled going up for the shot. And we were saying, masyadong agresibo ngayon ang pinapakita dito ni Barkley. Not settling for those outside shots. Every chance he has to slash and go strong to the hole. That's what he's doing.
I think din yung magandang pinapakita ni Barkley so far, 2 games into the PBA, is yung ability niya to read the game. Nung nag-lock in sa kanya yung depensa ng rain or shine, he found his teammates. Dito naman, nung tinanggal yung tira niya sa labas, he started attacking and it has done wonders for Blackwater.
Well, one thing Magnolia has done as far as their defense on Barkley, they have not made him a passer. Only 1 assist for Barkley in this entire game from 10 in the previous game. But Blackwater now up by 6, 45.6 to go.
A timely 8-0 run deployed by Blackwater. And now they're up by 6 with 45.6 seconds remaining. Pero hindi pa to tapos. Alam naman natin the existence of that 4-point line. And just the talent of the players in the PBA on that Magnolia squad. Eh kung yung coach mo may clutch genes like Eli Tenorio, I mean, how many game winners have we seen from him? You know he has tricks up his sleeve.
For sure. At RK Ilagan, one of the men of the moment ng Blackwater in this game. He's got 20 points. Remember, he had 22 points last time out. Ito yung mga tikada ni RK Ilagan. He's scoring from the outside, scoring from the inside. What a game he's playing. And what about that steal? Walang humabol sa kanya in that sequence.
In previous conferences, yung sinasabi nila sa Blackwater, alam mo na kung saan manggagaling yung puntos sa import, kay Sedrick Barefield and kay Christian David. With the emergence right now of Ilagan and Panopio, nagkakaroon ng options.
Take a look at our team standings so far. 7 teams in Group A, including Macau. Tapos yung Group B, that's where Blackwater and Magnolia are. Yung Blackwater, ang kartada nila is 1-0. And that's because they beat Rain and Shine in their first game. At ang Magnolia naman, natalo sila ng Phoenix. Their record is 0-1.
Lastimosa looking for a quick bucket. Out to Baroka. Nabitawan yung bola, but Mark recovers. And
a foul?
There's a foul.
Blackwater's in the penalty.
It's gonna be on Baroka.
Oh, Baroka is called for the foul. 36 seconds to go. Man down. RK Ilagan.
And look at this. So dito nangyari yun, Baroka, nabitawan yung bola. And Ilagan was there. Kaya, naturally, bumagsak si Baroka kay RK Ilagan and he was called for a foul there. Now, Lastimosa will have no other option but to give up a quick foul. That's a foul that will put Magnolia at the limit. So yung next one pa, yung magpapadala sa Blackwater sa free throw line. Magnolia will try to get the steal. Barkley gets away and he gets the jam. And that perhaps will be the icing on the cake.
And what a game this has been. As you see, another missed shot here coming from Magnolia. The Moses.
Hindi niya nakita si Lastimosa on his right.
He thought he was going to go for a stroll to the park.
They were able to give it to Barkley. And Blackwater will waste away the rest of the clock.
What a big win here for Coach Pat Aquino and Blackwater. You know, we've had a difficult time choosing who's going to be the best player. Barkley certainly did his job with 12 out of his 26 points coming in the fourth quarter. But, you know, we wanted to give it to somebody else who has been very consistent in this game. Ang napili natin, walang iba kundi si RK Ilagan.
Well, after being named Player of the Week, RK Ilagan is your Player of the Game, brought to you by Sports Plus.
Well, he did so much in terms of the impact that he made on the floor. He was defended by Lastimosa, he was defended by Baroka, and I thought it was, however, a total team effort by Blackwater. Ang kanilang depensa, sinabayan nila ang Magnolia's defense. As we were saying, the defensive teeth really bit into it.
A promising start para sa Blackwater bossing here in the Governor's Cup as they win their take their second win in as many games, 89-81 over Magnolia. Fantastic start for the bossing. May mga laro rin po tayo bukas. Naman tayo sa Inares Center in Antipolo, Terra Firma versus San Miguel in your first game. And then, rain or shine going up against Meralco in the second game. Things are just gonna get more and more exciting here in the Governor's Cup. But for now, we'll say goodbye for my partner, Nadine Quinito Henson, for Miss Bel Gregorio, para po sa aming incredible teams, production, and technical units. My name is John Sulit. Maraming salamat sa patuloy ninyong panonood ng PBA dito sa RBTV. This is powered by Sports 5.
Scoring 20 points in his game today, our best player of the game is RK Ilagan. RK, congratulations for this game. Back-to-back games na 20 points pataas ang inyong pinupundar para sa iyong koponan. What allowed you to just take charge and come out with that offensive effort?
I think the trust of Coach Pat sa akin, yun yung pinaka-importante sa akin kasi nagkakaroon ng kumpiyansa para ilaro yung dapat ko ilaro.
RK, yung paraan kung paano kayo nanalo today with the low-scoring ball game is very much different than the game that you won the last time around, scoring 131 points. What emphasis was put on defense today?
Siguro yung trust namin sa isa't isa kasi yung nung number 1 sa amin ngayon nagtitiwala kami sa system na tinatakbo namin.
RK, alam ko maraming nanonood sa'yo at gustong makarinig. Meron ko bang gustong batiin o pasalamatan?
Binabati ko lang yung asawa ko nanonood ngayon and 2 kong anak. And syempre si Boss JR ng EOG, and mga tropa ko sa Tondo, sa Malabon, and yung family ng asawa ko and mama papa ko. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much, RK, and congratulations once again to you and to the rest of the Blackwater bossing. Now it's time to hear from our winning coach.
Congratulations, Coach Pat. Both imports were as advertised tonight. How would you compare the two, and how did you see your locals support your import in the end game?
It's a battle. I mean, those imports were competing not just here, but competing in the Indonesian Basketball League. And just happy that, our players step up, like RK again. I know some players, have a slow output, but at the end, they did give up. They still play hard, and I'm gonna credit to Magnolia. Magnolia played so well today also. They had their game plan, and wish that ganito palagi. I mean, sana lagi kaming todo, lagi kaming playing with pride and honor.
Time to look back at what happened sa pagitan ng Blackwater at ng Magnolia. Coming to this game, si RK Ilagan was named the PBA Press Corps Player of the Week at nagtuloy-tuloy yung maganda niyang laro into this game, Pete.
Kita natin yung tres na binigay ni RK Ilagan in our first highlight sequence, and then Buffin scoring. Tapos si Dal Panopil, what an excellent first half. He had 10 points in the first half. That's a 3 coming from him. At si Ian Sangalang playing, the kind of game that she's expected. Magnolia, they were going to the paint. They were going for inside points.
Well, low scoring yung naging first quarter natin. But it was Magnolia who took the early lead. Pagdating naman ng second quarter, etong si Kentrell Barkley, he started looking for more of his own voice nung first quarter kasi medyo setting up his teammates.
Ay, yung assist niya for the game was just one. That's a breakaway, but then a block, and then the follow-up. As you see, Lucero scoring for Magnolia.
Pero ito talaga si Buffin. He was really looking to make up for a lackluster debut in the PBA.
Well, you know,
he was able to do that.
That three-point shot opens up the lane for a lot of his teammates. And talk about the outside shooting. Sedrick Barefield, rather a quiet night for him, but still in double figures.
And, well, in the third quarter, naging maganda na naman yung simula ng Blackwater. But there were plays like this mula sa Lucero, kay Lucero, mula sa Magnolia.
And look at that run through by Zavier Lucero with a two-handed slam dunk. Si Panopio naman, he will retaliate here for Blackwater. And look at that release, a quick release off the glass. A baseline drive with a layup.
Ang ganda ng pinakita rin ni Panopio coming off a 19-point performance against Riverside. But Sanggalang was trying to power Magnolia back into the contest.
That pick and roll has been a patented play for Magnolia. Sanggalang scoring. But then, what about that shot coming from Barkley? So aggressive, going strong to the hole and scoring inside.
And it was Blackwater up only by 3 points entering the final frame of this game. Ilagan again. He's just a guy who's born to score. Kita mo kung paano nilinlang yung depensa and then looped it over everyone.
That's just such a tough shot coming from someone who's 5'8". But Buffin, eto ang ginawa niya, no? Inside 2 points para sa kanya. Buffin was red hot in the fourth quarter. He scored successive three-pointers.
You know, he single-handedly
brought
Magnolia back and even gave them the lead with under 4 minutes to go.
But Barkley would not be denied. Ito yung, oh, what a slam dunk coming from Barkley. That pass was right there para sa kanya. Touchdown and that slam dunk for Barkley.
Barkley had 26 points and 11 rebounds, pero yung player of the game was RK Ilagan with another 20-point performance as Blackwater takes the win 89-81 over Magnolia. At dyan na po magtatapos ang ating handog sa inyo on a Friday evening. Thanks for joining us on RPTV for this doubleheader. Now for my partner, David Quinito Henson, for Miss Bel Gregorio, at para po sa incredible teams namin, production and technical. My name is John Sulit. Maraming salamat sa patuloy ninyong pagtangkilik sa PBA.